Okay, now I want to say that even though I haven't been initiated into any of these spirituality, religion, so to speak, I have been initiated into hip hop because they let me know I'm the hip hop Mary. And a brother out here actually let me know. It's a DJ Cass. He's like out here homeless too or some shit. And he was telling me, he literally told me what was going on. And at the time, you know, I could accept it or I couldn't, because when you're in your own emotional turmoil because you're trying to trip with the fact that you're homeless or whatever you're going through, it's hard for you to receive spiritual messages. But he just flat out told me, because he know my name and he's a DJ. And one thing I started realizing is DJs play music backwards. So they hear fucking stories in the music backwards. Just like they tell you, you know, the people who want to talk about satanic shit, they tell you about the Beatles and how you play the music backwards and their stories. Well, unless you know the story and you know these names, this shit might sound damn near like gibberish to you, but it's really not. So you have to have somebody to interpret it. And little dog. And it has to be, you know, it has to be with a pure heart. You can't be having all these old stank attitudes and stank perceptions of reality. And a lot of people in America have been given a perception of reality that's not what it's supposed to be. So he told me I'm the hip hop Mary. He from me 332, like Nipsey. He said he know Nipsey. And then this is the other thing, like, far as me wanting to talk about what's going on in the music and how it concerns me, you know, I don't want somebody to perceive me as being mentally unstable because they're like, well, that's not true. Well, it is true. And that's why these people are literally saying my name in their songs. But some of the songs, you may not be paying attention, or even some of the examples that their stories that they're telling. You may not know that's my story because I don't be getting on the internet and necessarily talking about it. Or if I do, it's on like a live, because I have, you know, my Facebook live, my Instagram live, and then I upload stuff on YouTube. So there's numerous different videos out here that kind of tell the story, and they're watching the shit because they have access. These motherfuckers is rich. They have access to get into your Google account. If they can get your password, they can go into your Google account. And if you got your pictures and your videos uploaded or backed up on your phone to Google, they can see where the fuck you at. Google has your location. The popo. The police could be following your ass, especially when they know who you are and they know that name, because them motherfuckers know, especially the Spanish, because Selena be talking to me in her songs. She tell everybody I'm her sensei. And like I said, the Spanish people are more open and realistic about this shit. They don't play no motherfucking games. And they don't be talking like, oh, what make you think you so important for this shit to be written about you? Because that's how a lot of black people play it. So this shit is hard. That's why it's all in code. Like a lot of these singers, they're models, meaning I wasn't awoke. So they're like representing me. Like Beyonce, Nicki Minaj, a lot of the shit they be talking about, that be my message. And they just dressed up beautifully and doing it, you know, however they like to do it. Because I be in their body and I be making them do it how I would do it or what I think is cute, you know. That's why Prince said we're all paper dolls to her. I mean, you know, she's making us who she wants us to be because they're getting a message and they like it, because you can feel when somebody's in your body. You can read their thoughts, or they can send you messages and you can feel their emotions, their feelings, and how they are. So they know me. Like, they know me on the inside. They know my soul. They let me know your soul is famous as fuck, bitch. And we love you, and you're not woken up, and these people are trying to kill you. That's why I had to get out of that apartment in Seattle, because the motherfuckers was trying to poison me. All kind of shit was happening to me, you know. And that's why I talk about that gaslighting shit. It's a serious issue of gaslighting. People like to play like they don't know what the fuck going on, and these are the very people who are trying to kill your ass. They're gaslighting you. And you can normally pick them out because they're liars, or they do weird shit that don't make sense. And you be thinking, oh, that's just a weird person. No, they're doing shit because in the spirit realm, because everything happens in the spirit realm, and then it happens in physical later. So they may know that you're supposed to be going somewhere or doing something, because they thinking everything's set in stone, and it's not. That's one thing I have learned. Everybody thinks that, oh, if it happens in the spiritual realm, it's just going to happen regardless. No, you can change shit. And that's what the spiritual army is about. That's what Tupac is about. Tupac was a general. He already knew what the fuck was going to happen. He knew it 20 years ago. That's why he said in his that Loyal to the Game CD, he talking about, I was in jail for 20 years. Well, we all know his motherfucking ass wasn't in jail for 20 years. But I was. I was in a spiritual jail for 20 years within my body with different people fucking with me. Like, I remember I had talked to the police one time, and they was like, do you know what MOB is? And I was like, MOB? And they were like, yeah, Tupac. He said, it means money over bitches. And I was just like, like, why the fuck are the police talking to me about Tupac? This is the weirdest fuck. And they knew who I was, because they knew my name, they knew my story, and they knew my motherfucking ass was asleep. So they were fucking with me. And a lot of people do that shit. And so since I'm hearing my name, my actual name, because like I said, they could play like you're schizophrenic or something, like you hear voices, but these motherfuckers have put my name. That's why I love Kid Cudi so much, because he's talking directly to me, and he's talking about my story, and a lot of the stuff that he's saying is the emotions I was going through at the time that the story was going on. So that's why I let him, and then he's calling me his wife at the same time. Well, we know he's not married. We know Tupac wasn't married, and we know Nipsey wasn't married, but they said they was married to the game. Well, I'm the game, because basically it's been a game. That's why they say they like it when Taw's on top of them. The outlaws say they like getting twisted off of Hennessy and Taw. And why they like people to drink Hennessy, because if you drink Hennessy, you can draw down the energy of me. Certain things that you do can draw down certain spirits and certain energies. Well, they want my ass on them because, one, I'm smart. You know, like, I got smart in this realm to know how to read through the bullshit. And two, I'm old, I'm ancient, I'm the mama. So there's hella shit that I know that they don't know. So when I first woke up, they put me to the test because they had to figure out. But Nipsey knew what I looked like. Kid Cudi knew what I looked like. You know, Tupac, he knew what I looked like. That's why Tupac made that song, Mama's Just a Little Girl. He wasn't talking about his mama, his biological mama. He's talking about his spiritual mama, because when he made them songs, I was a little girl. But I was coming to him, you feel me? Talking to him, talking shit. Now, why them niggas be kicking it? All them niggas be dancing and shit. A lot of the dances they doing is my dance. And I had to realize this shit because I was doing it on my own. And then I started watching videos because, as you know, I was homeless. So I was out in the streets. I didn't have time to be watching their motherfucking videos. And then when I was in the conscious movement in the beginning, you know how they be saying, don't be listening to music and don't be watching movies, watching TV, watching news. So I stopped watching that shit like damn near 12 years ago. So I had to go back through all these movies. Some of the stories are about me. And you know, I had to really understand what's going on. Also, when you pull somebody's energy into you, you start going through certain parts of their story, like your stories sync up, and you start experiencing the same experiences, just, you know, really kind of like what's in your life. Like Nipsey was a gangbanger, I'm not. But at the same time, I still experience everything he's talking about in his songs. You feel me? Like I experienced it. Because we knew what was going to happen. Tupac was telling Nipsey, your mama gonna wake up and they're gonna try to kill you. He was telling Nipsey in the song. He was like, nigga, you better get you a body. Like he said, he seen a body in the movie Total Recall or whatever the hell it was. He was like, I want me a body too. He was telling Nipsey, nigga, you better pick the date and time that you die and get the fuck out of here before they actually try to kill you, because she gonna let you know when they gonna kill you, because you gonna know, because she gonna be crying and you gonna be crying. That's why they be crying in the booth when they be making these songs. They be channeling, they be going through the same emotion I went through, or vice versa. When I be running around here crying and shit, because that moment in time that's linking up to the same experience that I'm going through in reality that they were having spiritually is so overwhelmingly emotional that you can't help but cry. You can't help but tears coming to your eyes. So I just want to say that, all right?